Hello. We're here on the sidecar, joined by Adam, producer over at Avalanche, working on Just Cause 4. Thanks so much for taking some time to come out and chat with us.
Thank you guys for having me on. Yeah.
I think we were all blown away by
blown away because it's explosions.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, we got wind too.
By the Just Cause 4 trailer and what we've seen so far here at E3.
Right.
I think, seeing all of the new grapple hooks and how much more you're able to do with it has been unbelievable. I've seen some of the stuff that our guys have been capturing with it.
Yeah.
And it looks phenomenal. And one of the things you all mentioned during this announcement was that you've switched to this new Apex engine.
Yeah.
Is that what's allowing you to really do some of these new crazy things?
Yeah, in terms of the physics interactions and whatnot, the new engines really allowed us to kind of push that envelope. Like when you see the tornado, which is kind of
I've got follow-up tornado questions, so I'm glad to bring it up.
I believe it. That's a real physics simulation going on. So we needed a lot more power under the hood to kind of be able to pull that off, and Apex has allowed us to do that. So when you see that tornado tearing through whatever it's tearing through, those are all real objects. There's no VFX. There's no sleight of hand involved. We're actually moving dozens or hundreds of objects around that you can just grapple to and do whatever you need.
When I was watching the gameplay demo, one thing I did not expect when it came to tornadoes was I don't remember the name of the faction, but the bad guys were controlling the direction of the tornado with wind cannons.
Yes, the black hand. Yeah.
So is that what are we going to see anything else in terms of weather control related items in the game, and will that factor in? Will players get to mess around with that a little bit?
Maybe a little bit. It's we're not talking too much about the story side of things,
okay.
And that's where, say, the wind cannons and whatnot kind of come into play. Is there's a reason that those exist.
Gotcha.
They didn't just happen to have those in the warehouse.
Gotcha.
But yeah, there are some elements of that. But for the most part, these are forces of nature. These are gigantic systems. So their will is a little bit more important than everybody else's will.
Gotcha.
Can you do something like, say, make a fire tornado?
Not a fire tornado in that the tornado would be made of fire, but if you set a lot of things on fire,
You could have a
put them
fiery
into
tornado.
You could have a fiery tornado.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I very clearly saw many explosive canisters and things on fire spinning around in the tornado.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. With as many explosions as the franchise is known for.
Yeah.
What's crazy to me is I was thinking about it, and I was watching some of this trailer the other day, and in my mind, I feel like Just Cause 3 came out just a few months ago, and I looked, and I can't believe by the time 4 comes out, it'll have been 3 years since 3 came out, and I mean that just speaks, I think, to what legs and how much fun these open world systems that you all create are. I mean, how do you, when you're approaching a new project like Just Cause 4, how do you think, okay, how are we going to top what we've done already? I mean, that's crazy.
I think honestly, the broadcasters and streamers and everything like that was a big inspiration to kind of the way we approached it, because once JC3 was out into the wild, we began seeing the clips on YouTube and realizing the creativity. People were coming up with stuff we never even thought was possible in the game. And so when we sat down to concept and say, like, well, what do we really, well, we need a really big feature for starters. We need something that's going to be just massively impressive. So weather was the obvious kind of choice to us, at least. But then the grapple hook was kind of the next big focus, where we wanted to give a lot of tools to the players to play the game that they wanted to play. So if you want to make elaborate constructions or whatnot, the tool allows you to do that, and even switching between profiles. I don't know if you guys got to get a demo yet or whatnot, but you might have noticed
yet, no.
Yeah.
Down in the lower right, there's a kind of A, B, and C that he's toggling between. Those are different settings on the grappling hook. So you can say, oh, airlifter, 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 and then switch over to putting boosters on something, and then manage them all that way. So the more we give to the players, I think we're beyond excited to see kind of what they do once this one's out in the wild.
Yeah. I'm excited to hear you say that you watched streamers and content creators online, because I think the Just Cause series might be probably the most gifable game series out there. Because I mean, you constantly see that on sites like Reddit or social media.
Yeah.
It's just like people are just always finding new things to do in the game, and every time I see one, I'm like, that's amazing. I mean, that's what drove me into the series to begin with, was watching this content shared online, thinking like, I want to do something like that, and I want to see how that works. So it's cool that you all look at that as well for inspiration.
Absolutely, and it works well with the way we kind of approach development of the game, which is everything's physics. Like there's very little that's like purely scripted in there. It's almost all real interactions based on physics models that the engine kind of handles. So almost anything you want to try to do kind of works. And then ideally it looks good too. Ideally we've set it up with proper effects and everything so that you get that big pop or explosion. But yeah, we like the flexibility, and we think it's something that seems to be very well suited to now that everybody can get out there and broadcast and do stuff, and you do see a lot. So yeah, it's super exciting.
I noticed in the gameplay demonstration they were doing, they were showing that not only did you have a grappling hook or thrusters, but you had customization options that you could switch on the fly and add effects to them, and then change, like, I don't know if it was what the options were. Force, like, what are some of the options you get with customizing things like your grappling hook, your lifters, or your thrusters?
It can be things like tension or force or lift on the airlifters. Those are kind of the obvious ones. It could be things like I want it to auto retract, or I want it to only auto retract in these circumstances. With the lifters, you can put some kind of AI behind them to where they will follow you and stay at certain heights.
Oh, okay.
And then, there was another one I was about to say, and I'm forgetting it. But and then like effects, like pulses and whatnot. So when those retracts occur and there's an it gives an explosion automatically. So if you're taking destructive items, you don't need to rely on the force of those items colliding to make sure that they explode. You'll get a little explosion to kind of help the chain along, so to speak.
So you're adding more explosions.
Yeah, explosions to help our explosions, so we can have more explosions. Yeah, that's generally the way we think about it.
Are there? It looked like in the demo, and I'm not sure if it was just for demo purposes. Are there limits on how many lifters and thrusters and grappling hooks you can set out now?
There are. It's kind of variable, and we're still going through getting the game performant and ready to get out the door, getting it debugged and whatnot. Sure. So we don't have a final number on that yet, but it'll be at least twice what we had in JC3.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're going for more. No matter
the more,
what.
the better.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the end goal here, though? I mean, where does it stop? This madness is
It stops as far as we
crazy.
can push it. Basically, we get it as far as we can possibly take it, and then and then it's right.
By Just Cause 7 Unlimited. Yeah, I'm calling it right now.
We just keep getting processing power and more RAM, and let's just keep going.
Great. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much. I'm super excited for this. It comes out, I think, December 4th.
December 4th, yeah, right in time for Christmas.
Yeah, great. So thank you so much for taking time to chat with us.
Thank you for having me.
And we're going to throw it back over to our pals right over there.